Hey, everybody. Just wondering, do you know what it is that allows you to get paid or actually guarantees your payment with both sellers and buyers? So, today, what I want to give you very quickly here is to have you take a look at first the listing contract. In a follow up video, I'm going to give you the buyer representation contract and let you know the keys to ensure that you're actually able to collect your fee. So let's first take a quick look at the actual listing agreement, paragraphs 4 and 5. And I want to note these two do go along with each other. So here's what it says. We've got, based upon the settlement, that disclosure thing about brokers' fees are not fixed, controlled, recommended, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we know that needs to be in there. But here's the key to you getting paid, and I want you to know that it's regardless of whether or not you are only on the seller side or if you actually happen to have both sides of the transaction where you represent the seller and or if you represent the buyer, or if you're representing the seller but have the buyer as a customer only. Okay, here's what it says. If during the term of the listing anyone produces a buyer ready, willing, and able to purchase the property at the listed price and terms for any other price and terms or exchange to which a seller consents in writing, seller agrees to pay the brokerage firm our 6% of the sale price, or you could put a flat fee there for properties which would be selling below what a minimum commission may be for you. And $395 or $195 for a lease. And of course, it then continues with the protection clause that everybody will remember, regardless of how long you've been in the business, that you want that for at least 6 months, but up to even 12 months. So that's what it says. But then I want you to catch that it says shared compensation with broker procuring buyer. So whether the listing broker will offer a portion of listing broker's compensation, otherwise of the 6, whether or not we do this is set forth in paragraph 4 to the brokerage firm producing the buyer. Now again, that could be us, it could be someone else, who is wholly within the seller's discretion and is not fixed, it is not controlled, it is not recommended by law. Gee, that sounds familiar. Settlement. But I want you to catch this. The seller directs the brokerage firm to. Now, what we say is we don't like offering sub-agency. Sub-agency is going out to anyone outside of our company. We don't want those agents representing our sellers. Therefore, we're basically telling anyone that if you want to be compensated, the seller has directed us to offer a portion of our compensation as compensation to the broker who procures the buyer. We will offer to the buyer's agent, we will offer to a transaction coordinator. We don't believe that there's any difference in regards to the amount of compensation. That if you were offering 3% to a buyer's broker, you would offer 3% to a transaction coordinator. So those are the key. And of course, in this, D is that they decide not to offer any compensation at all, in which case we're getting 3%, and that is the key. But again, here's the direction. They are telling us to offer 3%. They're directing us to offer 3% of our compensation. And it doesn't matter how the paperwork is written when it comes down as to, is it coming from us or is it coming from the seller? All right. So I just wanted to throw that out because it is the key that will get you paid regardless of whether you have one side of the transaction or getting full compensation if you have both. Thanks for hanging out. Watch for the other video regarding your buyer compensation. It's even more important. Guys, have a great one. We'll talk with you soon.